Good morning, my YouTube friends. Welcome back to Our Unruly Nest. My name is Amber. I'm a homeschooling mom of two. This is a lifestyle channel, secular homeschooling, motherhood, and lifestyle. So we're here today for another vlog style coffee chat. Hot. You guys seem to really like this when I posted my last one, and quite frankly, it's one of my more enjoyable to film videos. So if you clicked on this video, then I'm guessing it's because of the title or the thumbnail, and it's exactly what I said it was. This video will be about the struggles that my family is having right now with homeschooling, and I am looking for support, ideas, but I'm going to ask that this remains a safe, positive place. And if you watch this video and you think, I don't really have anything helpful to add, that is completely okay. Feel free to not comment. What I'm trying to say very nicely is it takes a level of vulnerability to share a struggle openly like this, and I am asking for kindness. And if you just can't be, that's okay. Then just choose silence, please. My family is really struggling, and I am trying to sort through it. And so, I just want to keep this a positive, helpful video. Okay? I am hoping that by sharing this over nice hot coffee, that we can brainstorm together, because there's a very good chance that if I am struggling and if my family is struggling with this, then maybe some of you are as well. And I think it's really important to remember that so much of what we see on social media is the highlights, everything that is positive. And I think it can be very easy to slip into the habit of believing that, we are the only ones that are having a hard time, or we are the only ones that are struggling, because that's not a lot of what you're seeing on social media. So in an attempt, to create a safe place on, our little neck of the woods here, and to create open dialogue about lifestyle, motherhood, all the things that are very, very difficult, I think it's important to start with myself. And so when I was looking at the videos that I have coming up next, the part 3 of my speech tips and Amazon hauls for curriculum, it just would have felt very disingenuous to not first share that we're having a really hard time in the context of homeschooling right now. So let's talk about that, friends. And if you find something of value here today, please do like, share, subscribe, and most of all, if you can add any type of support to myself, to my family, or to anybody else that might be struggling, and that's why they, clicked on this video, leave a comment below with your best tips, your best advice, how you would handle this. And if you don't have that, that's okay. Just leave support. I think it means more to all of us than what we realize. And I do think that in an effort to build a community here, what you say matters. So just keep that in mind, friends, okay? Before you comment. Okay, enough introduction, 5-minute long introduction. I have my hot coffee. I have my super warm sweater, still in my jammies. We're just keeping it real here. I have no script, no outline, no nothing. So I'll ramble, I'm sure. That's what happens when I don't create talking points. But that's okay. Okay, so in order to share a little bit about what is happening, I need to make sure that you have some context. If you do not know, my daughter is 9.5. My son is 3. My son is special needs and very medically complex. So we are new to homeschooling. We only have a year under us. And my daughter has a public school background. She started in public school in preschool and went through second grade, even part of third. So the hybrid in there, right, because of the virus and at home. So it's kind of a gray area, but technically she did even some public schooling through third grade, but it was from home. So so we really only have a year under us. And so the other part of this, the context that I think matters, is that I live in a very remote, rural part. I hate that word, guys. Sorry. Rural. It doesn't get better the more times I attempt saying it. Rural part of Kansas. For those of you that do not know, we are a Christian family, but we very much will only do secular homeschooling. So there is a clear boundary line there that we will not cross. And we have our reasons. But to understand where we live is playing the biggest role, I feel, in the suffering that my daughter is going through. And if I'm being honest, the suffering that I'm struggling with. So my daughter is in lots of activities, and this week something difficult happened, and I'm glad for the information, but I'm also struggling, and I feel like I'm failing her, and I could use support and ideas of how to help her. So we were at her dance studio doing dance photographs. She has a recital coming up, and so they do photographs before the recitals. And just, the nature of her age, the activities that she is in, I'm typically in a parent waiting area or sitting outside while she's doing her various, classes or lessons or things like that. So this was a very unique experience for me because I was in the studio with her, helping her change outfits in between various, group photographs and stuff. So I was with her peers and with her, classmates, class, again, like dance, Girl Scouts, things like that, not school, and with their parents. Well, the area that I live in had just wrapped up school, the public school system, the day prior, whereas we had finished over a week ago, perk of homeschooling. And so people just making small talk, were, hey, how was your last day of school? How was school? And my daughter, who is a social butterfly, she is so bright and so friendly and so lovely. She is just, it makes me so proud to be her mama. She is just such a tender, outgoing, loving soul. Never has anything but a kind word to say to everybody. And actually, this is part of why she struggled so much in public schooling. She got singled out. She was so soft-hearted. She became the target for so many children. It was horrible, but that's a story for another time. So yeah, I'm, helping her change, and people are just making small talk, So how was school? Her face, I saw it all across her face. She shut down. She was staring at the ground. She looked very, embarrassed, shameful. And I realized right away, I'm not sure how long it took, but it was like a sequence of events, right? That very first domino went, and then it was like rapid fire. I just realized within the span of probably a minute what was happening. And this could be a very long video if I shared it all in the exact detail. So I'm just basically going to summarize, and I'm going to get to the part where I beg for your advice. As it turns out, she has been lying to everybody. Her various, instructors, teammates, if it's dance, Girl Scout troop, Girl Scout leaders. As it turns out, none of these people, not her horseback riding instructor, not her guitar lesson instructor, her tumbling class, her dance classes, nobody knew that she was homeschooled. She has been telling everyone that she goes to the local public school here. My heart broke. For those of you that do not know, I have a background in psychology. That's my higher education, specifically child psychology. And I pride myself on believing, that we have a home that facilitates healthy boundaries, open communication, even when it's discussing the difficult things. We are communicators. And I thought that I was very close with her. And I felt like, we had worked really hard to create a safe space here where she could trust her dad and I with anything. So the first wave, if you will, that hit me was that she didn't feel like she could tell me whatever she was struggling with. It led her to feel like she couldn't be honest with people, that she was being homeschooled. And even if I didn't understand why she couldn't share that with other people, I would have felt like she could have told me. And so we've been working through this now for several days, and the reality is as follows. I have worked so hard to model to her, to handle disrespect, hatefulness, judgment, just the nature of where we live, the community that we live in. P.S. guys, it's really toxic. I would give anything to leave, but it's just not an option for the foreseeable future. But I struggle with it. I have shared this with you guys. I struggle with it. It tears me up inside. People's judgments, people's hatefulness, but I don't show it. I model to them kindness, respect, even in the face of that behavior, because I don't want to raise children that lash out, that return hatefulness for hatefulness. But what I didn't realize that I was doing was I was struggling in private, right? I was talking to my husband, to you guys, to work through it, while the only thing that she was seeing was that it didn't affect me, because I choose to respond in a very certain way when these situations happen. And you're like, Amber, what situations? I'm getting there. This is why I have talking points and scripts, guys. But all she was seeing was the one side of how I handle the just crappy area that we live in. And so I think what happened is that she was getting bullied by adults, discriminated against, made fun of, and she didn't feel like she could come to me because in her mind she was going to disappoint me, because she couldn't be unaffected by it. I'm gonna ugly cry on the internet today. So yeah, all my psych training, guys, I let her down. I was so focused on modeling. It doesn't even matter. I failed her. I did. So what was happening is when our transition to homeschooling was very gradual because of remote learning, and we just kind of unenrolled and, registered as a homeschool. It all just kind of happened slowly. So I think to the people on the outside, I didn't put a banner in our front yard that says, we are now the name of, our homeschool. I didn't do that. I didn't, make some big grand announcement. I just made the decision that I believed was best for my family. And as it became applicable and came up in conversation, I would tell people. I made a vlog, was it like a month ago, about, a family cookout that we went to. And it was, somebody had mentioned it. And so lots of people were like, Amber, really? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't make it a huge deal to announce it to everybody. I didn't send out a newsletter, but I certainly didn't hide it or lie about it. I'm not ashamed of it. Actually, I'm quite proud of it. So apparently the discrimination, hatefulness, just outright nastiness that I have dealt with as an adult in the judgmental, super uber judgy religious Bible Belt strip area that we live, what I have been dealing with now and struggling with apparently was just bombarded on her. When select people found out about it, adults, you guys, that should know better than to, and I'm going to use the word harass, because make no mistake, it is harassment. Harassed a 9-year-old. They were ridiculing her, making fun of her. Oh, you're going to be one of those weirdos. Adults. I'm not even going to go through what the kids said, because let's face it, kids don't necessarily know better, and kids can be quite cruel. But the adults that absolutely should know better, that if they had a problem or an opinion, they should have come to me. Instead, they bullied and harassed my 9-year-old, my giant-hearted, the sweetest of sweets daughter, who just internalized it all because she knows how much I love homeschooling and how proud it makes me. And all she has seen from me is my smiling and still treating people with respect, even in the face of those same treatments. She didn't see me struggling privately. So she's been carrying this. And her way of dealing with it was to just avoid it, was to lie to people and to just allow people to believe that she was doing remote learning. And then when she went back to, regular traditional school, when she would have, she just let people think that she was back in school rather than correct them when they assumed. So I don't know what to do. She is telling me that she doesn't want to be homeschooled. But as her mom, I don't believe that's actually what's happening. She seems to really enjoy it, to be honest. And again, this is a whole nother video, and you guys, please don't come for me. I am not insulting the public school system in any way, shape, or form. But the area that I live in, our public school system failed my daughter on multiple levels. That does not mean that public school is garbage, or that is not what I'm saying. But where I live, my daughter is very intelligent. She is an excellent reader. She has a nearly photographic memory. Her recall is phenomenal. And as a result of her being quiet, low-key, highly intelligent, and having fantastic recall, they missed that she was not learning how to comprehend what she was reading. My daughter that's going into fourth grade, that is highly gifted, has a reading comprehension level of between first and second grade at best. And I only know this because we switched to homeschooling. I would have never known it. And in many, many other ways, they failed her with the bullying. They protect the bullies. Where we live, it's hi. Oh, you are so-and-so. Oh, hi. It's nice to meet you, Amber. My name is so-and-so. Where do you go to church? And if you don't have an answer that fits in slot 1, 2, or 3 that is appropriate to them, forget it. Forget it. You don't get protected from bullying, harassment, nothing, because you're not in the in-church clique group. It lights my rear end on fire. The difficulties that my daughter should not have, that are just because of where we live. And I can't get into that in this video. We're already over 20 minutes. Leaving is not an option anytime probably in the next 5 years, which only further solidifies my decision to homeschool. So you guys, how do I help her? How do I help her? We deschooled. We did. I feel like we did it long enough. I feel like it was incredibly helpful. I have mentioned this in multiple videos. Deschooling is incredibly important. I don't believe that this is a mental struggle with her adjusting to homeschooling. I don't. I believe it is her not feeling capable of dealing with, for lack of a better way to say it, the a-holes that we're around pretty much every time we step foot out of our house, and have to interact with people in the environment that we live in. So if you have any advice, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. Do I send her to public school? Do I just let her lie about it? No. Do I have an open conversation with her about how much it hurts me, about how much I also struggle? Yeah, I already did. I think it helped some. She cried, I cried, we cried. But it doesn't prevent her from suffering. And yeah, I can't prevent her from suffering in everything. But I want her to be proud that we are a secular homeschool. I want her to be proud of how hard she works, of how hard I work. I want her to experience the joy that it does bring her, instead of feeling ashamed of it and the need, to hide it like a dirty little secret. You guys, I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken. I'm angry at myself. It's a lot for a coffee chat vlog style, I realize. I'm sorry this was kind of heavy. For the record, this was my third time filming this. The first time I stuttered and sputtered and cried and ugly snotted, and the second time I way overshared, and this time it's actually going okay. So I'll probably end up using this version, but just know the reason why I'm not sobbing hysterically and is because this is my third time filming this. I was not about to post those versions. Being vulnerable like this and putting your life on the internet is a very strange, it's very strange. I haven't quite acclimated to it yet, but to be honest, I have found more support and amazing advice from you incredible, unruly family members that I felt really compelled to not only share this vlog, because I didn't just want to keep posting videos without sharing and being vulnerable to that there is a flip side to homeschooling for many families that is very, very dark and very, very difficult and painful. And if all you're ever seeing on social media is the happy and let's talk pretty curriculums and oh, look how, my children are thriving, then if you're struggling with something, then you're going to end up feeling alone in it. Like, well, how come, this YouTuber's not struggling and this YouTuber's not struggling? You guys, they are. We are. I am. People just don't share this stuff because who wants to put this on the internet? Nobody. But above all else, I want this to be a safe, authentic place. And that means talking about the hard stuff. So this is my current major hard stuff. My mama heart is so broken. I feel helpless to shield her from this. I don't know if I should send her to some type of a, traditional public school and just homeschool my son. I don't know. I don't feel like putting her around these people more is the solution to this. I would rather run away with them and never come back here and just, let my house and everything that I own go. Don't worry, guys. I won't. I told my husband this morning, let's just get our kids out of here, light this place on fire, and just start over somewhere. Obviously, would never do that. But it just, when you're this frustrated and you're this angry and you're this hurt and you feel helpless to change it, we're struggling. We are at a major homeschool struggle. And if you have advice, if you have experience in this, please leave a comment. I think you can contact me via Instagram, direct messaging. I don't think you can do that via YouTube. Guys, somebody mentioned in a comment that we should create a Facebook group so that we can have more ongoing conversations. Let me know if that's something that you would be interested in doing. I'm so new to all of this. I don't understand how it all works. I think when you reach enough subscribers on YouTube, they open up the community tab where you can more converse there. We do have Instagram. It's linked below. It's the same thing, Our Unruly Nest. But maybe a Facebook group would be a good idea so that we can more, have ongoing conversations. Let me know. Because I'm so new to all of this, I don't necessarily know how it all works yet. But if that's something that you guys are like, yeah, let's do it, I'm happy to figure it out. I just know that I am begging for help. I'm begging for advice, how to help her, how to help myself, how to work through this in a positive, healthy way that doesn't leave us jaded and angry and bitter, and that doesn't cause us to give up on homeschooling, especially secular homeschooling, which I feel fits us so well. And it just has really brought a lot of joy and flexibility and freedom to our family that we so desperately needed and didn't even realize it. But guys, this is heavy stuff. It might even be too heavy for just coffee. Might need to make it an Irish coffee. Leave me some comments if you have some advice or support. I would be super grateful. I'm going to go have myself a good cry now. I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to get it up. Sorry this wasn't light and humorous. That is what I strive for in most of my videos. But again, authentic. I want to be authentic. And you guys, if there was ever a secular homeschool struggle for us, this is by far the greatest one that we have faced yet. And I don't know the right way to handle it. So, okay, enough rambling. I hope you guys are having a great extended weekend. It is Sunday morning of Memorial Weekend. So yeah, thanks for being here. I will be back soon with, lighter videos. Part 3 of my speech series, tips and tricks, and then Amazon haul curriculum for both 4th grade and preschool. I'll see you guys soon. I appreciate you. Bye.